As much as my audience is convinced that I hate Xiaomi, I don't hate Xiaomi. Instead, I really just don't see the value that they provide users anymore, especially when you can get a used flagship device for really cheap, and when they just don't seem to be bringing the same kind of value that they did before. Let's go ahead and let's give you guys some of the reasons that I don't really recommend Xiaomi phones anymore. Number one, recycled hardware. Now, this is one that you really have to be paying attention to notice. For example, the brand new Xiaomi Mi 12 Lite, on paper, it looks like a decent phone with a decent camera, except for the fact that that 108 megapixel camera and the 12 megapixel ultra wide on the back, the 8 megapixel ultra wide on the back, they're recycled HM2 sensors from the Redmi Note 10 Pro. That device retailed for around $220 in most markets, and while the camera was really good in daylight, it was average, if not below average, at low light. This is on a phone that Xiaomi is kind of touting as their non-premium, but it's part of their premium line because of the fact that it's Xiaomi branded series of devices. I don't see why sharing the camera with your budget phone just is a good value anymore, especially when we have things like the IMX 586, which have now gone down in value, or the IMX 686 that was on the K20 Pro, as well as the Poco F2 Pro, and those sensors are getting really, really cheap. We also see Xiaomi recycling hardware with the Poco F4. The Poco F4 shares identical hardware to the Poco F2. And the only reason that you wouldn't go out and buy a Poco F2 right now is the fact that it's going to be end of life. It's going to get Android 12, and then you're not going to get any more Android updates. And so Xiaomi is planned obsolescence, even though they're recycling their hardware and giving us brand new devices, but they're not keeping their old devices with the same or better hardware up to date with software. The second reason that I just have a hard time recommending Xiaomi devices for people is the accessories, or specifically what I want to hit at is their charging accessories, and specifically cables. Now, Oppo BBK brand, they have VOOC, and their cables are clearly marked VOOC and then the wattage or that they support. VOOC 45, VOOC 30, VOOC whatever. It's really easy to go buy cables that are going to be compatible with your Oppo or your BBK device. Xiaomi has their turbocharge technology, but you don't see it really being licensed out, or you don't see other manufacturers selling officially compatible turbocharge cables. You have to know that you need a 6 amp compatible cable in order to get a cable that's going to be replaceable for your OEM cable. It makes the process of finding accessories, even in a country like Vietnam, where many of these devices are officially sold at official Xiaomi retailers, really hard to find. It's something that's come back to bite me in the butt a couple times when I recommend their devices to friends of mine. Either they want to get a longer 2-meter cable, or something happens to their OEM cable, and they come to me and say, I need to get a new cable, but the cable I got, it doesn't charge my phone as fast. What do I do? Now that burden's on me. It makes their devices incredibly hard to recommend. Third is overall device confusion. Now this is what I mean. Xiaomi, Redmi, Poco, Black Shark has been rebranding and reselling their devices across different markets. And this makes it extremely difficult to keep track of what device is which. Now, for example, Xiaomi released the Mi 12 or the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. They sent it to a bunch of American and Western influencers. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that see that China-specific device and they go to import it because on the surface, it's a good value. But Xiaomi is going to end up either re-releasing that device outside of China, Or in the case of a lot of their other devices, they will release a device like the K30 Pro in China. It will then get rebranded as the Poco F2 Pro. And then later it will get rebranded to something else like the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra or something like that, and it'll get resold. And we've seen this with a variety of their other devices, and it creates a lot of confusion in the market when people are trying to get Xiaomi devices. It just makes it inconvenient and it makes it difficult to really find the device you're looking for. And on top of that, a lot of retailers will buy the China branded device, unlock the bootloader, put a ROM on it that's global compatible, and then send it to you as the global device. That was something that we had happen quite frequently with the K20 Pro being unlocked, flash, and then being resold as the Mi 9T Pro. And if you're looking to get your device from AliExpress, make sure that you're getting the global variant of that device and not an unlocked and flashed Chinese variant. Now, number 4 is software and planned obsolescence. Now, I know that Xiaomi is getting better, but that doesn't change the fact that they have done some really suspicious, really shady, shitty stuff with their hardware and software releases. For example, the Xiaomi Mi 12X that was released with a Snapdragon 870, it was released with Android 11. And then Xiaomi came out to say that it was going to get 3 years of Android updates. Well, Android 12 is out already. Congratulations, you're really giving the device 2 years of software updates. And really, what this means to the average consumer is that if you buy a Xiaomi device 6 months after it comes out, 7 months after it comes out, you might get 1 software update, you might get 2 software updates. You don't know. You don't know if Xiaomi did something like this with the Mi 12 for other devices. And even then, on the Redmi line of devices that are cheaper and more budget oriented, for people that are looking for the better value, they're still only offering 2 years. So if you're getting a Redmi device around the time that Xiaomi's rolling out MIUI 13 on Android 12, if you buy that device late, you're gonna get 1 software update. And again, talking about recycled hardware, you might be getting a device that's got hardware that's been recycled and they've already abandoned that software support for the old version of it or for the older iteration of that software. So buying a Xiaomi device that's only going to receive 2 years of software updates, or a Redmi device, which a lot of people want the Redmi brand because it's cheaper, it's just not that great of a thing because Xiaomi is making their devices based on planned obsolescence, and they're making it to the lowest price point possible, and usually software is the thing that gets sacrificed. Now, it's not that I hate Xiaomi, I just see other brands like Realme using more MediaTek SoCs, which are generally cheaper and benchmark higher than their Xiaomi counterparts. And I see Xiaomi continuing to reuse some of their same tech. I have 1 Xiaomi speaker, 2 Xiaomi speakers. I have a Xiaomi wireless charging hub. I have a Xiaomi power brick. I have a ton of Xiaomi accessories, and I use a Xiaomi toothbrush. So it's not that I hate their devices, it's just that as consumers are looking to have a longer lifespan of their device, it's just really clear that a lot of Xiaomi smartphones aren't being made with a long lifespan in mind. And as someone with a platform on YouTube, it's hard for me to recommend a device that's got planned obsolescence literally programmed into the software. That simple. Peace.